Dark Universe, 1961, by Daniel Galouye is a post-apocalyptic science fiction novel set after a nuclear holocaust, where humanity retreats into underground bunkers. Generations later, the survivors live in complete darkness within subterranean caves. As Jared, a young man, matures, he begins to question the faith-based system that his people have adhered to for centuries. His curiosity drives him to embark on a dangerous journey to uncover the truth about light, defying superstition, myths, and even monstrous creatures like subats. The novel examines the tension between science and religion, exploring the struggle between blindly accepting faith and seeking knowledge. Some critics have compared it to a science fiction rendition of Plato's Allegory of the Cave. Dark Universe was nominated for a Hugo Award in 1961, and in 2007, Galouye received the Cordwainer Smith Rediscovery Award, which honors a writer whose work deserves to be rediscovered. The protagonist, Jared Fenton, is 27 pregnancy periods old. Although strong and bearded, he remains a pre-survivor, still not considered an adult in his community. Jared stands out from others in his lower-level clan by keeping the front of his hair short, a symbol of his desire to keep his eyes open, even though the caves are pitch black. The survivors, who have forgotten their past, lack words to describe visual concepts and navigate their world through echolocation, relying on the sound of their clickstones. They also have a heightened sense of smell, able to identify others by scent. The survivors live off mana plants grown in the warmth of underground hot springs, hunting salamanders, crawfish, subats, and raising sheep. In addition to Jared's lower-level clan, there is an upper-level clan, and although the two groups are not particularly friendly, they are united in their opposition to the Zivers, raiders who steal sheep from both sides. The Zivers are different. They do not use clickstones but can see in the infrared spectrum. The survivors regard the Zivers as being possessed by the twin devils, cobalt and strontium. The survivors' religious beliefs are tied to their lack of vision. They view light as God, darkness as sin, and radiation as hell or evil. These concepts infiltrate everyday language with curses like "all radiation broke loose" and "for light's sake." The survivors' myth tells of the Light Almighty banishing humanity from paradise after a conflict with radiation and its lieutenants, cobalt and strontium, forcing humans to live in the underground original world. Although some light existed in the original world long ago, people lost the ability to create it and descended deeper into the caves. Since childhood, Jared has been determined to find light. In his search, he believes that understanding darkness is essential to understanding light. His friend Owen dismisses him, stating that darkness isn't something you hunt, it's something you commit. However, Jared dares to consider a heretical idea. What if light isn't God, but something else entirely? In an act of defiance, Jared and Owen break the law and cross the barrier, journeying back to the original world in search of answers. In the original world, Jared and Owen encounter a foul-smelling, human-like creature, something unbelievably evil because it was different. Owen fears it might be Strontium himself, coming to claim them. The creature knocks them unconscious, but they manage to escape. Upon returning to the lower level, Jared goes to the administration grotto to tell his father, Evan Fenton, the prime survivor, about the creature. The prime survivor, along with a group of elders, leads the survivors. He informs Jared that it's time for his unification. Jared is pledged to Della, the niece of Norris Anselm, the leader of the upper-level people, in an effort to strengthen the ties between the two clans. Jared is reluctant, knowing that the unification will interfere with his quest for light. He protests, but the prime survivor is resolute. As punishment for crossing the barrier, Jared is reprimanded. Meanwhile, people from both the lower and upper levels begin to disappear. Owen goes missing while hunting mushrooms. In search of answers, Jared travels to the upper level to meet Della and her family. Della, with her pleasing echo composite, proves to be sharp-tongued, and initially she resists the unification. However, she soon suspects that Jared may be a Ziver disguised as a survivor, just like her. The Zivers, led by Mogan, launch an attack on the upper level, wrongly believing that the survivors are responsible for the growing disappearances among their people. In the chaos, the prime survivor hands over his leadership to Jared before being abducted by monsters. Jared's illegitimate brother, Fenton Spur, filled with jealousy, spreads the belief that Jared is behind the monster attacks, accusing him of consorting with the creatures and being poisoned by radiation. Meanwhile, the upper-level survivors come to suspect that Jared is a Ziver. Fleeing to the Ziver world, Jared and Della are pursued by monsters, and Della is captured. Mogen rescues Jared, but is soon captured himself. As Jared continues to evade the monsters, he finally emerges from the caverns and encounters hydrogen itself, the sun. There, he is captured by the monsters, who turn out to be humans named Thorndike and Caseman, members of the Survival Complex 7 rescue team. Thorndike explains that Jared and the other survivors are descendants of those who once lived in Bunker 11, which lost power, forcing them to descend further into the caves. Now, Thorndike's team is working to bring the survivors back to life on the planet's surface. Leah, a psychic who appeared in Jared's dreams, aids them in this mission. Initially suspicious, Jared believes they are trying to deceive him. He escapes but realizes in despair that he can't return to the caves after having seen the light. Owen and Della eventually convince him that the humans mean no harm. Finally, Jared takes Della's hand, resolved to stay with her in this new world and see what the future holds. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did, and be sure to subscribe. Thank you.